Good morning, students. Welcome to Johnson Grammar School live classes. Today we are going to discuss about the whole topics regarding to the computer networks. What is a computer network? A computer network is nothing but a group of computers which are connected to each other to share different kinds of information or services among them. We use different types of networks in our daily life, for example, radio and television networks. How these radio and television networks are connected to each other? They are linked by wire and they use microwave signals to relay or to telecast and broadcast the live programs across the world. And these telecommunications network help us to communicate with any person at any time around the world. Video conferencing and internet are also examples of the network. So some of the important terms that need to be understood by computer networking are server and a node. A server is a central computer or a device that connects different computers with each other. It can be used to store information that is to be shared by all the computers on the network. And this server provides access to the other systems to share the information and to share the hardware devices like printer, scanner, etc. And next is node. Node is also known as client or workstation which makes use of the services provided by the server system. It is an electronic device that is attached to the network. This is a computer network, which is a group of computers that are connected to each other for sharing data. And the two devices which are main important for learning computer networking are server and node. A server is a central computer which provide access to the other systems. Node is also known as client or workstation which makes use of the services provided by the server system. There are four advantages of this network. The advantages of this computer network are exchange of information, cost effective, and communication. What is exchange of information? It helps to send and receive the information without any external storage devices like CDs, DVDs, etc. In the previous class, we have discussed about accessing a shared file through network. Why we need to access a file through shared network only? Why? Because it helps us to send and receive information without any storage devices like CDs and devices. If the same file, if we want to copy it from somewhere else, we need CDs or DVDs, Blu-ray disc, flash memory or memory cards to send and receive the information. So this networking helps to exchange the information without any of the storage devices and the external devices. Next is cost effective. Cost effective means computers that are connected in a network can share various computer resources or the hardware devices such as hard disk and a printer attached to one computer. Suppose consider our computer lab in the school where all systems are connected to a server system. If the server system has a single printer or a scanner, where the other client systems which are connected to the server system can get access to that printer. It means it saves the cost of purchasing the separate printers for each and every computer. It saves the cost of the hardware device also. That is cost effective. Next is communication. Here any number of users can be connected to a network and can communicate with each other. For example, email or instant messaging services such as chatting. Even online meetings or also conference can also be held. This is nothing but communication. And one more thing is we can make easy access and maintenance of information also. It enables the file sharing across the network so that it is easy to use and maintain among the networks. It also creates a data protection and also reduction of the data. That is easy access and maintenance of information. If the same file is to be shared by everyone, there is no need to place that file in each and every system. If that file is available in the server system, it can be accessible by all the other system and make use of it. That is, if in that cases, if the other systems are also able to share that file, if there is a loss of data or any memory, it is easy to maintain the information. That is the use of advantages on computer network. Next is network hardware devices. Why do we need network hardware devices? It is needed to set up some networking in a group of computers. Apart from the server and node, there are 7 other devices. Those are network interface card or controller, NIC, Ethernet hub, switch, network cables, modem, wireless network interface card, and a router. Network interface card is also known as Ethernet card or network adapter, and every computer must have this NIC to get connected over a network. It is a hardware device which looks like a circuit board which is placed inside the CPU. Without having this NIC, we cannot get connected over a network. Next is Ethernet hub. It is commonly known as hub. It is a hardware device used to connect various devices and make them a single segment. It means it looks like a router consisting of different hubs where it gives connection to the other systems. Next is switch. A switch is also known as hub, but it is an advanced hub. It means it sends information only to the node which needs that information. When you are connected to Ethernet hub, if you are sharing a file or any other thing, it shares to all the devices. Whereas when you are connected to the switch, as it is advanced hub, whichever system is requesting for sharing a file, only that particular information is sent to the node which needs the information only. That is switch. Next is cables, network cables. Cables are nothing but wires which are used to connect one device to another. Here in the computer networking, we are using 3 types of cables while setting up a network. Those are twisted pair cable, coaxial cable, and a optical fiber cable. In a twisted pair cable, different wire pairs are twisted together and they are separated to form the other wire pairs. These are mainly used for giving a network connection at a home. In a coaxial cable, only a single wire is bent and twisted. It creates an electromagnetic wave inside a cable. Hence, it is used to give connections between the televisions and the other broadband networks. Next is optical fiber. In this optical fiber cable, a glass is present at the center and this glass is covered with a protective material. When compared to the twisted pair and a coaxial cable, it is more expensive, but it is used to transmit data over long devices without any interruption of the data and corruption of the data. It is mostly used to deliver the high speed of network and in telecommunication signals. Next is modem. The full form of modem is modulator and demodulator. It helps in converting the information of a computer into telephone signals and the telephone signals into computer information. As the computer information can understand the digital signals only, but the telephone signals will transmit only analog waves. So this modem helps in converting the analog waves to digital waves and digital waves to analog waves. This modem can be set up with the use of cables or without the using of cables. It may be wired or wireless. Next is wireless network interface card, that is WNIC. It is also a network card which is used to connect devices without the use of cables or wires. This device consists of antenna which is used to communicate through microwaves, that is WNIC, wireless network interface card. Next is a router. Router is a common hardware device which we use at our home to exchange data between different computer networks instead of hub and the switches. And apart from this, Bluetooth is also a wireless technology which allows electronic devices such as mobiles and computers to communicate over short distance. Next is types of networks. With the advancement of technology, the various types of networks have been evolved. So some of the popular types of networks are LAN, local area network, wide area network, metropolitan area network, campus area network, personal area network, and a wireless local area network. In a local area network, it connects computers and devices that are very close to each other. For example, in the same office or in the same building, and it is a wired network. Next is wide area network. In wide area network, it connects computers which are far away from each other. Suppose consider different cities or different countries. Consider the World Wide Web, www. When you are opening any web page, we'll be seeing the link in as www. It means the web page can be accessible by any other city or people from any other city or any other country. It means it connects the computers which are very far away from each other. Next is metropolitan area network. Metropolitan area network means it is larger than LAN but smaller than WAN. For example, let us see, when we visit any public places like railway station and all, we'll be getting a free Wi-Fi connection. Whereas it allows us to connect the computers for a single city or a single area. That is metropolitan area network. Campus area network. It connects computers which are larger than LAN but smaller than metropolitan area network, such as a university campus or any commercial complex. It is a wired network which provides access to only that particular campus or a building. That is campus area network, CAN. Next is personal area network, PAN, PAN, PAN. It connects the computers which are in a close range, that is not more than 10 to 15 meters of the distance. So various devices can be connected like personal computer, laptop, printer, fax, mobiles, such as these devices does not be more distance like 10 to 15 meters. Next is wireless local area network. It means it connects the computers without the use of wires or cables. For example, the most common example is Wi-Fi, wireless fidelity, which is already also called as Wi-Fi in short. This allows us to connect the mobile devices or laptops and PCs and smartphones also nowadays without the use of wires or cables. That is wireless LAN. This LAN, local area network, is replaced with wireless local area network with the advancement of technology. Our next topic is network topology. What is the general meaning of topology? A topology is nothing but the way in which parts of something are organized or connected. This network topology gives the description of the arrangement of a network. Here we have 7 types of topologies. Those are line topology, bus topology, ring topology, star topology, tree topology, and mesh topology. Tree topology and mesh topology. In the line topology, all the devices are connected to each other in a single line. In this type of topology, if the cable breaks somewhere in the middle, the whole network will break down. In bus topology, all the nodes are connected by a single cable, but individual nodes are connected to the main cable through network interface connectors. So in this case, what happens if the main cable breaks anywhere in the middle, the whole network breaks. But if the individual cable breaks, the system will continue to function and only the particular device which failed in connecting will stop working. That is bus topology. Ring topology. In ring topologies, all the nodes are connected to each other to form a complete circle. Here each node has exactly 2 neighbors for communication purpose. In ring topology, the flow of information takes place in only one direction, that is either clockwise direction or anti-clockwise direction. So in this type of topology, a break in a cable may also break the entire network. Next is star topology. In star topology, all the nodes are connected to a central connection point. For example, let us connect 6 devices A, B, C, D, E and F. So let us connect the devices B, C, D and F to A only. Now A is the central connection point. The other devices B, C, D and F are connected to A through individual cables. In this case, if the central connection point A, if there is a break in that cable, it will affect the entire network. But whereas if there is a break in the independent connection to the network B to A or C to A, only that particular node will stop functioning. That is star topology. Next is tree topology. In tree topology, some nodes act as individual servers and they have branches which gives the shape of a tree. Hence, it is known as tree topology. It is generally used when there is a chances of expanding the existing network. When the more devices are getting connected to the network, then each of the system will be acting as individual servers and it creates a shape of the branches like a tree. Now, in this type of network, if there is a break in any individual branch, it does not affect the entire network setup. Why? Because each of the server is acting individually. So, it doesn't affect the other devices. That is tree topology. Next is mesh topology. In mesh topology, it doesn't have any shape and each of the node is randomly connected to each other. So, since there is no definite shape and a route for the flow of information, a break in a cable may or may not affect the entire network. Next is fully connected topology. In this, every node is directly connected to each other node. So, as every device is connected to every other device, it uses the maximum length of the cable. The advantage in this network is, in this type of topology, is if there is a break in any of the cable, it doesn't affect the other networking and the information can still be exchanged between the other devices. These are the different types of topologies. Our next topic is network security. What is security? Security is protecting ourselves. So, network security means setting up some rules to prevent unauthorized access or misusing the data and resources from any other people. So, the two types of network security are login security and write security. Login security is nothing but it is done by assigning a unique login name and a password. So, the users are need to enter an ID and password or any other authentication information to access the information and programs in a network. That is login security. Next is write security. It is done by giving rights to a user. The rights are read-only access, read-write access or no access at all. Read-only access means the user can only read the information but cannot change or delete it. Read-write access means the user can read, change or delete the information. No access means the user cannot even read the information. These are the three rights given in the write security. Next is the last topic is accessing a shared file. What is accessing a shared file? To exchange a file over a network, we need to access such files over a network. So there are 4 simple steps which need to be followed. First, you have to click on the libraries icon which is present on the status bar. When you click on the libraries icon, it will open the different types of disk drives and folders in the left pane. From the left pane, you have to click on the network option. When you click on the network option, to the right side of the window, it will display the name of the computer network or the shared drive from which you are going to share the file. If you click on that name of the computer system, it will open the different types of files and folders. Then you have to click on the required file and folder to access in it and the necessary file will be shared to your computer system. This is all about the different types of computer networks, children. Thank you. Have a good day.